just a candid advice.
Let me pretend like I'm not on this set, because these two persons now, when they start now, we literally will not end this one anytime soon. So yes, today we'll be discussing the topic: the impact of street upbringing. Is that nurturing or is it a nuisance, right? But before we even dive into that intriguing subject, let's take a moment to catch up on the latest headlines around the globe. Please stay with us. You're still watching Waste Breakfast. I'll be taking you on a journey across the African continent. Feel the length of the Punch, a leading newspaper based in Nigeria. The major headlines read: 24 states can't pay salaries without federal government allocation budget. 24 states to pay 1.48 trillion naira, but generates 914 billion naira internally generated revenue in state level. Ondo, Yobe, Sokoto, Plateau, Niger, Nasarawa, Adamawa, Cross River, Delta, Abia, others affected. And above the masthead, 30 killed in Benue fresh attack, Senate to meet Tinubu. Blackout, federal government threatened to revoke discourse license. Central Bank of Nigeria, printing of 22 trillion naira. Under Buhari fueled inflation, this is said by Edu. At the bottom, we have Adesina wins a Wolowo prize, says low productivity cost Africa $2.6 trillion yearly. Minimum wage, labor slashes demand to 500,000. Troops comb brushes for 101 adopted women. Internally displaced persons homebound. Lastly, federal government foreign scholarship beneficiaries lament unpaid 8-month stipends. And that's all that's the headline for the Punch newspaper. Now, what piqued my interest is the major headline, as usual, which says 24 states can't pay salaries without federal government allocation. What does that actually mean? It just means that 24 states out of 36 states we have in Nigeria can't pay their workers' salary without the allocation of the federal government funds, right? Only 11 are able to pay their workers without even the assistance of the federal government. And we're talking about the states. Now, each of the states can actually pay, the 11 states can pay their workers, why 24 can't? We are yet to get an upload budget from Rivers State. So we don't know yet if Rivers can pay their workers or not. But 11 can, 24 can't. And that's all on the headlines for the Punch newspaper. Uni, let's hear yours, please.
Thank you. Okay, guys, so I'll be moving away from the African continent to an international spectrum, and I'll be taking today's news straight up from the New York Times. So right here on the top headlines, we have passing years cloud memory of Trump's term, polarization may yield collective amnesia. We then have Trump and Biden pile up victories on Super Tuesday. Beneath that, we have geologists say it's not time to declare a human-created epoch. Earth's changes don't signal start of new era, panel rules. We then have accidental creator of 50 skirt for cool cats with poodle flair. And least but not last, we have Russia widens its air attacks but pays prices. And lastly, we have in Egypt, buying and selling gold to stay afloat. So the news that stands out to me most today is the passing years cloud memory of Trump's term, polarization may yield collective amnesia. And what I understand from this news is that, obviously, as we all know, the current elections in the United States are happening, and the paper pretty much speaks about how Biden is trying to win up voters from Trump. Biden is pretty much trying to remind voters why Trump was not elected for a second term and why Trump is not suitable for the role. Thank you.
That's a nice one. John, let's hear yours.
All right, it's still in the international space. I would be guarding you all from the Guardian newspaper in the UK. And the major headline reads that a last disrespect act, and that's in quote. And right underneath that story, we have tax at highest level since 1948, despite 2% national insurance cut. And right underneath that, we have Stammer condemns budgets as reflections of failed Tories party. Now, the next story that it's on the Guardian newspaper is bottom left, which reads, it's Trump versus Biden after Haley. It's Trump versus Biden after Haley drops out of presidential race. Now, for me, the story that is getting my interest here is the story of is Trump versus Biden after Haley drops off the presidential race, which is in line with what Oni just read to us this morning. So the story reads that Donald Trump marched towards a White House rematch with President Joe Biden as his final Republican rival, Nikki Haley, was reportedly set to drop out after a heavy defeat in the Super Tuesday primaries that was held. Now, the 52-year-old U.S. ambassador to the United Nations under Trump is suspended her campaign at the Wall Street Journal, and this was reported by CNN and also carried by the Guardian newspaper. And it also says that former President Trump has swept 14 out of 15 states up for grabs on the biggest day as of the 2024 race so far, and Haley just denied him only once. However, she has decided to drop off the presidential race. So right now, it's a thing of Joe Biden versus Donald Trump at the forthcoming American presidential elections. I don't know what this holds for them. I don't know what is in store for Donald Trump, but I've been going through the news, and it's been a whole lot of story that have been rising around Donald Trump. Donald Trump did this, he slept with this person, he's fined for this alleged fee, he's done this, but I've not really heard anything about Joe Biden, and I'm wondering, is the fight really against the the Democrat, or is the fight against Donald Trump himself? But whatever it is, in this case, I just wish America good luck, and cheers to having a responsible and hard-working president. Good luck to that.
So like I will always say, there are so many things happening in the global world. But before we go for a break, it is important to inform you that we're having a guest on the show, ready to shake the table. Our amazing guest is no other person than Jacob Uloko. See you after the break.
Whether you're a Gen Z, you're a Gen X, you're a millennial, you're an alpha, you're still under the same law that applies to every generation. So that you are dressing to suit yourself. Do you actually put yourself in the shoe of the other party to say, imagine I were to be a male person. Imagine I were to be a guy who by nature and by default, right, I get to see a lady's body and I am attracted. Right, my hormones immediately starts to rise, starts to stand. I'm just so, oh my God, this girl is fine. And then you are now coming to dress that way, show me more of it. And then you think, when I look at you, the first thing I'm supposed to think of is, hey, what are you doing? What is your job? What do you do right now? Excuse you. The first thing I'm going to be thinking of, oh, how have we smashed this girl? How have we knocked this girl down?
Exactly. I feel like the problem comes like just right after you said, I like the way you're dressing, and like you don't need to put that and when you're talking to me. Like I know that I look good, but it's like you could stop like I like the way you're dressing, period. Why do you have to take it to now you feel like, hey, I can say this to you and you don't want me to feel offended? Like as you just said, everyone has a right to their opinion, great. I have an opinion to feel offended because why are you adding all that extra stuff to me? I don't know you from anywhere. Why are you telling me you want to knock me? Like, it's just, like, weird. Like,
I get it.
This is a stranger. It's one thing to admire. It's another step to walk up to someone, tell them they look good, and then now project what you feel like you want to do to them.
So when you admire, what thought comes into your head?
I'm just like, wow, this person looks good, and keep it pushing, because how many people do you see in a day that look good?
Thanks for staying with us. Today we'll be discussing on the topic, the impact of strict upbringing, nurturing or nuisance. Remember, you can join this conversation by either sending us an SMS or a WhatsApp message to 081-8038-4663. I repeat, 081-8038-4663. Joining us now is Jacob Uloko, an artist that often expresses himself through music, dance, and comedy. Above all entertainment, he has the knowledge of biomedical science, studying the University of Hertfordshire, United Kingdom. Hi, Jacob. How you doing?
I'm glad to be on the show.
Yeah. We are excited.
Sorry, God's beauty.
Hey.
One question. Is why all of you into artists, music? I just want to know.
Who is all of us?
I mean, no. I mean, for our viewers that have actually been following us on this show, they will know that almost all our guests are artists. I'm not saying anyone that's not an artist.
It's either they're already in it or they're aspiring.
The youth
of nowadays are, right?
Oh, okay, so that's the part. So maybe I need to throw that part also, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Artists we
Just maybe, I don't know. About
So I wanted to ask, right? When I used to bio, I mean, you said you do music, you do comedy.
Yeah.
What else do you do? And you actually studied biomedical. How's that like? How's the transition? How did you move from this place and you're like, you know what? Let's just leave science. Who was it? And let's go to entertainment.
I literally don't put all of them in the same topic. Like,
oh, okay.
Every part is a different me.
Whoa!
When I'm in school,
I love it.
I'm a different person.
Different personalities.
When I'm doing music, it's music.
Wow. Okay, so when you're doing music, what do you bear? And when you, like, your name. Let's use me, for example. When I'm on this set, I think I'm the lady vibe. On my own person, I'm God's beauty. You see those two transitions. So who is Jacob and who is who?
So my name is Jacob Uloko. So
Okay.
I kind of have, like, I created this alter ego for myself. It's like,
Oh, okay.
so that's when they call me just Uloko.
Nice.
So that's the artist.
Okay, so Oloko is for the artist.
Uloko is the artist.
Okay. Then Jacob is the biomedical student.
Jacob is
Local.
Look, I get it. Come on.
Exactly what I mean.
I love it. I mean, I feel like today's topic might actually speak to you as well because I mean, listening to what you just said now, you're a different person studying biomedical, and now you're also an artist in music. How do your parents take that? So I mean, today's topic is the impact of strict upbringing. Really, is it from the nature and nurture side? Like when we see our parents and their whole strictness, the fact that they don't allow us to do certain things, they don't want us to own our opinions, and all of those things. You get me? So now I'm asking you directly, right? When you actually studying biomedical and you just feel like, you know what, I also love music as well. Let me venture into this. How was it like for your parents?
That was a fight.
Fight. Take us that
It was
journey,
a
please. Take us to
fight.
that
I
journey.
mean, like, normal Nigerian parents go to university, get your degree, and do whatever you want after.
I mean,
I'm not sure most parents even allow you do what you want after the degree. But
right?
yeah, I mean, it's just traditional that they just want you to finish, get a degree. So me doing music and going to school at the same time, it was really tough for my parents to accept the fact that I want to be an artist, because they just feel like being an artist means doing drugs, partying, a whole lot that doesn't have to do with school. And they think you might not be successful at the same time without an education. So, yeah, it was a fight between us.
Really?
Till now.
So did they later agree? Oh, till now?
Till now.
You guys are still fighting?
It's like we're going out for music, Abby. No problem.
Okay, so how have you been, like, how do I put this now? But somehow, I kind of feel like there's a truth in what they said, right? Yeah, there's some musicians that are actually not making it. Let's be true. Yes, no. That's what I like.
What?
Oh, we need the guys.
They don't make it eventually.
But these few ones, not all of them do make it eventually.
There
are people that made it. They made it, right? But even before, give them in the next 45 years, you won't hear their name. Use Lighter, for example.
Wow.
You know Lighter, right?
There's a lot of examples.
There's a lot of so there are many of them that actually came to the limelight, and you will not even hear of them.
I mean, the basic of it is just doing what you love.
Right.
Yeah, I just feel like that the thought of not making it or making it, that's too much.
Shouldn't be.
That's too much of a burden.
Really?
Yeah.
But,
I mean,
okay.
if you really love what you
you
do,
know.
Okay.
then
Just you don't think about whether you're gonna make it. You do it with having the faith that you are gonna make it and you're gonna get to your goal and be successful in whatever you do.
Then that is a problem from strict parents. That's the problem your street parents have. Because now you're having the faith. They feel, see, it is, okay, let's leave Nigeria with school, whether school has come or not, right? But, so you're on the concept that school is scam.
I'm 50-50.
Okay. Well, I feel like most parents actually push their children to go to school because there's a tendency that one way or the other, your certificate is going to bring certain amount of money to your, you know. Do you get? So the certificate is going to help you out one way or the other.
I like how you said tendency though.
Yeah.
Because not always.
No, of course, not always. But I mean, now you aspiring to be a musician or you aspiring to be a Nigerian artist, right? Now you're having faith. There's no assurance anywhere.
There's no assurance.
That's the thing. So it is a bit risky. It's even more risky than it's better you just go to school than you standing in one place not doing anything and you're like, you know what, we'll go just the same, we'll go from one studio to the other. I want you to say something on that.
So it's like, I mean, like I said, it's all about being happy with what you do, because I've been making music for a long time. And
like how long?
Since I'm 21 now, since I was like 15.
Ooh.
Or even way before then, because secondary school I was just...
So what's your kind of song? What's your kind of music? That's what I mean, like a genre.
I say Afrofusion.
Oh, wow. Cool.
And
I hear you dance too. Probably after this you're going to give us...
Please.
Probably a salam
One or two.
Too much.
Well, let's not digress from our topic, right? Okay. Today's topic, you already know what it is. Now, my first question is, I hear you actually came out from, you just said now that due to the fact that you want to actually make sport your music life, you want to have your music life while you also study, it has been a fight. Let's start from the initials, right? I'm very sure, apart from the whole fight, there would have been other negative impacts from strict parenting that you would actually have seen. Can you put us through that, please?
See lots.
Give us the a lot. We want to hear the a lot.
We want the team.
You really don't want to start a journey and then people you love or your parents make you feel like embarking on that journey will be a waste of your time. I mean, that's very discouraging, first of all. On the other hand, we have parents that would support And I feel like Nigerian parents will only support if they see something coming out of it, first of all. Okay. Anybody, to be honest.
That's the truth.
I don't even know. It's tough having Nigerian parents and strict parents.
Wow.
And trying to pursue your own dream instead of their own dream.
Right.
Yeah. I feel like most parents.
That's basically.
I feel like the people we call strict parents are the people that give birth to you and already have a plan set out for you.
Man.
For your whole future, right?
For your whole future. And I feel like if it's not going their way, it's like, is this...
But boy, you know the
This guy, no. Whatever we go.
I get it.
Yeah, I mean, man, my friends are that supportive, so I don't know what to say. 50-50, shall let me not say anything, but if you're watching, love you.
Let's hear you, Oni. I'm very sure you have something strict parenting, whether it's negative and the negative and positive side.
I mean, yeah, I would just start up by saying just something. So, bar soap, right?
All right.
You know, the tighter you hold a bar soap, the farther it would actually project. You know how, like, it's slippery, but, like, so if you literally squeeze a bar soap really tight, it's going to project and shoot out. And that's the same thing, like, with strict parenting. I mean, like, if you do hold your child, you put them on a tight leash, there's no freedom of expression, they're not allowed to do what they want to do, they can't express themselves, they can't follow their dreams, that child is going to project and rebel. So pretty much psychologists or child psychologists have said that there are 4 types of parenting styles. So we have the neglectful parents, we have the permissive parents, we have the authoritarian parents, and we have the authoritative parents.
Yeah.
So pretty much, I'm just going to go by each of them and give like a brief description.
Right,
so the authoritarian parents are pretty much like the very more like strict parents, like you must go by my law, you must follow this rule. The kids don't really have freedom. These kids are literally governed by such tight rules that, you know, they pretty much have no expression whatsoever. Then we have the permissive parents, and this is a typical stereotype of a white mom. You know, a white mom that just, like, you know, gives her child all types of freedom, allows her child whatever, just based on the quote-unquote love they have for their child. And then we have the authoritative parents, and I'll say this is the best type of parenting because it's a balance between pretty much both. You know, having set rules, but also being there for your child, giving your child a bit of freedom, understanding, listening, and just trying to, like, you know, get to know your child in the right way. And then we have the neglectful parents, which are parents who just don't care about their child whatsoever and in any ways. So obviously, I'm going to start off by saying a 2014 survey on college students found out that those with over-controlling parents tend to obviously have more struggles in life, such as depression, anxiety. These parents also tend to raise kids who end up being criminals. So in my opinion, I feel like strict parenting is not necessarily the best style because, I mean, there's no way you're going to be harsh on a child and that child is not going to rebel, whether it's to hurt you or whether it's to, you know, get some sort of freedom for themselves. Like, there's this story I literally heard offline. So a 14-year-old girl came online and pretty much spoke about how she had this really strict parents. So by the age of 14, it was the thing of where, like, she literally had no freedom. She was controlled by all these laws. So she wanted to do something to, like, get back at her parents and hurt her parents. So she started having sex at the age of 14.
Wow.
Yeah. And then so she pretty much said that the reason she did that was to literally spite her parents. And she literally continued this act, expressing that, like, the sex didn't make her feel good.
Yeah.
She wasn't happy about it. She didn't feel whole about herself, but she was just doing it because, like, her parents never gave her that freedom to even just express herself. So she obviously, like, if someone tells me not to do something, I promise you, I am so going to do that thing. I don't care who you are, my mom, I will do that thing. So, like, you just have to be really nurturing with your child. I don't mean, like, yeah, there should be laws to govern them, but at the same time, laws with love and understanding and listening and communication. Yeah.
And that's on period. Let's hear you, Joy. Offload, because I know you are ready.
Let's hear you in the corner.
Let's hear you. What do you think about strict parenting? Is it a nurturing style? Do you see that strict parents actually do these strict things because they want to nurture the child, or are they actually constituting a nuisance? Like instituting a nuisance, rather?
Right. So for me, right, I think it is. I think there are two different sets of parenting when it comes to the Nigerian space.
Oh, okay.
We have the strict
She said
parents.
4. You said 2.
No. In psychology, what she said is correct. Right? In psychology, there are 4 types of parenting types. But in Nigeria, there are 2 species of parenting as we speak.
Let's go. Nigeria parents.
We have the traditional strict parents.
Traditional for real.
Emphasis on traditional.
Emphasis on traditional. Thank you very much, God's beauty. By God's grace, I will not shout today.
Oh my God.
And then the next species of parents we have in Nigeria are I don't want to use the word educated because it's be like I'm calling this set of people who don't know. Let me not use the word educated, but the next species of parents we have are the disciplined parents.
Yeah.
So I tell people a lot of times, and I tell my parents, let me be very emphatic on it, that it's one thing to be strict and it's another thing to be disciplined. If you want me to be a disciplined child, I understand. But if you need me to be disciplined, you need me to have all the morals you think you want to imbibe in me, you can't be strict on me. And it's not out of rebellion, it's not out of disobedience, it's not out of, I just want to show myself out there. It is coming from a place of, you need to understand that as a growing child, I have hormones and tendency to always rebel. So by default, the character and the traits of rebellion has already been embedded on me. So says, thanks to Uncle Adam and Auntie Eve. I already have the character of it. No, let's see. I do not want to shout, but today I think I may have to go because I mean my life literally. I don't know how to describe it. Over the night, I've been thinking deep. How do I coin this thing to be? Because I am a victim of strict parenting, but I'm still looking at it. That is it that is strict parenting or it's a bit of discipline. So I think somewhere I was coming to say that maybe I had a strict mother, but a disciplined father. Do you understand? Okay. So my father was one that he's going to discipline you down to earth, but he's quiet. He watches you. He'll let you do you.
Don't you think that's just a man's character?
I don't know if it's a man's character, then...
If it's
a man's character, then their mommies, please, I think you may want to buy that trait. Because to me, that was the best. And it's not like I spite my mom. No, I love her. She's the best in the world. Thank you, Mom. But over the years, while growing up, I was more closer to my dad. And a lot of times, somebody look at me and say, oh, you look at your mom. I say, sorry, I look at my father.
As a female child, I think that one is...
It's normal. No,
see, that's why I said, it's like,
no. As a female child, me, growing up, I was literally my mommy's handbag.
Is it until baby sis came up?
That one paying me.
Joy, let's hear you.
So while I'm saying that I might be a weirdo, it's not because of it's a general thing or a general phenomenon.
Okay.
Sorry, excuse me. It's not a general phenomenon, or not because it's a general phenomenon that the female children are always
very close to
their parents. No, mine was circumstantial. My father was one that he was ready to just sit down and hear me talk, but my mom, it has not happened. She's already shouting. Joy, in fact, once I know the names and what is going to come after maths. Once you start hearing Joy, I know that okay, I'm in for like discussion for a long time.
I get
By the time you now heard you for like 10 minutes, just know that the next thing that's going to land is a whip of cane. And I would never forget a phrase my hey God I beg, I don't suffer. A phrase my parents used when I was a kid, and that is stuck to my head. And when I grew up to know better, I'm like, Jesus, it's because I love God. I don't think I would have ever forgiven you people for this.
What's the phrase?
Something would happen, and they will tell you, we have to beat you so that God can forgive you. I'm like, I'm not getting.
Do you want to put the table?
What the?
That's why I said I don't really want to go much into my life, because if I start here, I might be your
You must
associate.
have heard me.
Oh, wow.
So what I'm to come back to my point.
What?
To come back to my
Joy,
point.
say repeat that word again, please.
No, you people-
No, I want to hear it one more time. For the camera.
Go play back. You hear it.
Ivy.
But let's stick to the conversation.
All
Like
right.
to come back to my point, right?
All right.
I think what Nigeria needs, right? It's disciplined parents.
So strict parents.
No, we don't need strict parenting in this age, especially in this age.
Okay.
We don't need strict parenting. You can't tell me that because your mother raised you like this, you want to raise me like this. I'll ask you a simple question. Did your mother use Facebook? Well, you're using Facebook. Because my grandparents never used any social media, but I can tell you today, my father is the king of social media. Once he starts, it takes the grace of God to like bring him out.
See them on their phone,
It takes the
247.
grace of God to bring him to leave his phone to come and eat. But my grandfather had no.
Honestly.
So I asked you, if you want to play by
Mom
that
be
book,
sending me the
then
most
let's play it
reels.
to the end.
Yeah.
So it's not when it comes to where it suits you, then you know you want to stick by what you know. But when it's not suiting you, want to change to what is happening right now. If we want to trend, then let's all transform. Let's all change together to everything. So to me, what my first point I'm going to just lay on this table now is, you see this Nigeria, we don't need strict parenting. What we need is disciplined parents so that it will help a lot. I know that yes, we children, we have so many exorbitances to show. But what happens is if you are disciplined, if you just bring in discipline to it, you can play the book. I'll show you as we go further. I could literally use my life to explain how discipline can work as opposed to strict parenting. Thank you for listening.
I mean, I think that's a nice one, actually. And I think I agree with what Joy said. We don't need strict parenting. I think discipline works perfectly. We get on a short break, and when we come back, we'll shake the table more. Stay with us.
There's nothing we can really do that we aren't already doing. It's literally just for the older generations to like open up their minds and just have like a wider perspective and a wider view to like how helpful the youth could actually be if we're honestly given these opportunities. I feel like we would honestly step into our prime and, you know, work with whether it's the older generations or like the old whatever to like put things in place. The whole youth of Nigeria, it literally takes a community to like raise and bring up those youths. And like if you're not really doing what you need to do to empower them or to help them or to even give them the hope that is needed, then it's just going to leave them just dry.
The only thing that really we could do is try to show them with our actions, which I think we're already doing. Like there's youth rallies, there's things like that.
That's what I spoke about.
You know, I feel like we're already doing as much as we can. The people at the top need to care enough about nurturing the next generation to push them through into these positions for it to go anywhere. Taking care of the people who have no one to take care of them should be my number one responsibility. Making sure that they have access to food, water, school, good jobs, welfare, you know, whatever they need to build them up. Because by building them up, their next generation have a good, at least, foundation to start on. And that way, at least, the level of poverty in this country will reduce. As a government, even if things are getting expensive, we should still be able to take care of our people, the people who can't take care of themselves.
The reason I'm like this is the fact that I don't want anything to do with the male gender based on what I've seen and how they are like. I've been assaulted, I've been so many things. But that's why I'm like, okay, enough of that. anytime I even wear like guys' clothes, sometimes I feel like I won't even sit right. Like, do you understand? Like, I won't even sit right, but like, I won't like me wearing this is actually it's comfortable as well.
Come on. Second level. I get it.
And like, I just feel like that's why I said like Nigerians need to educate themselves.
Yeah.
If they see a particular guy behaving in that way, it's actually not because they want other guys to see them so they can like maybe sleep with them. No, they do that because they're tired of the male gender, what they've been through. There's that. Like you can tell from like looking at them. You can tell from looking at me.
Okay.
So that's all I have to say.
Thanks for staying with us. I can't believe you're actually super glued to that TV. Still stay. All right, Abby.
As you should be.
So yes, coming to you, Jacob. Do you have any? I know you have. You would definitely have personal experience. And trust me, we are sitting down here because one of your gist.
We just want the tea.
Many, Abby.
Many.
Bring it up, baby.
We want the
Tell me
tea.
those effects. What had like the effects you've actually? How do I put that now? Okay, all the things that have happened to you, they're actually bad. Yeah, the negative things that have happened to you due to strict parenting last year. If it was one or two, 3 or 4, just
4 or 5, maybe 6 to 7.
I don't know what these ones are saying, but
I won't speak too much.
No, give us the gist.
Yeah, I feel like
it makes you suffer.
strict parenting has caused me to be very rebellious.
Oh, word.
So when you
I say low key, very low key rebellious.
no, okay, let's
Because
say
they're not going to see how they run them.
Gist us. When you say it has turned you to be rebellious, how rebellious? And now you say low-key rebellious because you don't want them to know, right? But I mean, when you go outside, you
Yeah,
become
because
the
when
child
they know
of the
now,
word.
then go to vex. So
Then go hi. But give us the gist. Like how did you actually put your head and be like, you know what? I'm actually done with these people. I have to start being rebellious. Give us that gist.
I feel like this happened like this my story is a series of
I get
happening
it.
events.
Give us. That's
So
why I
it's
say you
like-
should give us 1 or 2 series. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go and watch it and we'll give you feedback.
I've reduced now, but man, I used to be an outside guy.
Okay.
I used like since 14 self, like I loved to go for concerts. I just love to be outside, and these events used to be late. And I know that if I'm asking my mom see or my pop see, is a no. As in I'm not going.
I get it.
So me, I know they ask, what are they go?
When you ask them, what are their reasons?
Like I feel like they're very insecure. Maybe things happened to them back in the days.
Is it
you feel me?
insecurity that caused strict parenting? That's a nice question.
Insecurity, yeah. Protection too, I mean.
I feel like
Yeah.
So you think because your parents are insecure? Is it okay? There are 2 things to this thing. So I feel like sometimes it's the children themselves because of their behavior that makes their parents strict, right? Why some because of they don't want people to see them as incompetent parents.
Yeah.
So they start being strict. So which of them do your parents follow in? Shana, you cause them. I mean, and then just you say.
I feel like
You care too much about what
them
people think.
it could be from their own past experiences. That's how I feel. I feel like okay, maybe because they're not our age.
Sure, why not?
So then they probably witnessed 1 or 2. They know that how going out or all this clubbing, all this partying can make you lose focus or whatever. So I feel like they're just scared to see their children go certain directions that they don't want. So
Now, since you followed all those paths, have you lost focus? Yes or no?
not really.
Not really.
Not
Not
really.
Not really is not sounding a yes or a no. So the
There are consequences.
not really is like.
There are consequences, but
Okay, let's hear the consequences, please. Let's hear the consequences.
you yourself, you know, go like lose focus.
Very now.
You're not going to club from Monday to the next Monday. No?
Monday to Monday.
So you have to know when to sit up, be disciplined.
yeah.
At least take from them. show them responsibility, at least.
I get.
Yeah, so.
But with this thing you said now, haven't you see that there's also an advantage to strict parenting? Because take it or leave it, due to the fact that they're always telling you, boss, you're not going anywhere. It has taught you that, okay, I have to be upright sometimes, you know, so.
No,
You agree or
me,
not?
honestly, that's anything that has to do with being outside after 8 p.m. is a no for them.
But
Yeah.
sorry, I have a question,
I wanna
and
hear some.
let me ask you a question, Jacob.
Yeah.
So, I kind of key a lot, and that's why I said I'm an associate guest, so I'm helping you too. We are in this together. So, for my end, right, it was a thing of number one, I was a girl child. That's number one.
Ah, that one
And
was-
number two, I'm literally like the only surviving child, right? So, going out was a no-brainer for me. However, I
Sorry,
kind of was...
can I go back? What do you mean by surviving child?
Okay, I had siblings, right? But I mean, they're no more clearly to go than that. But for me, it was not. I wasn't getting a balance because I knew that I was going to be a media personality, and being a media personality means that I would be on the outside world a lot.
Outside.
I was going to go for events. I was going to go for conferences. I was going to cover stories, and then before I even got into broadcasting, I started off with journalism. Now, my mother literally always had a problem with, this your job is too risky. I remember when I did go for, I covered the protest and nobody knew. I was literally there, they were fighting and no single person knew. But I covered the story and I go back, my mom was shouting at me, why would you do that? Your life and life. I understand the part. And then there was an event that I got a ticket to come and cover the story, but the event was going to start from 10 p.m. over to the next day. I guess what? I came back 3 a.m. My mother refused to open gates for me. She said I should go back to wherever it is I came from.
Well, we don't
But
suffer that
I
way.
understand that, right? But what I want to ask you is, being that we both went through the same thing, I'm sure you relate very well to what I'm saying. Anybody who has gone through this relates also. But my question is, do you see strict parenting? Because that was also being strict. I understand that, yeah, they were coming from a place of protection, but you were not giving me listening ear. You were not knowing the reason why I was doing it.
Yes.
Now, could it be that it is, I like the fact you said, it is out of protection. I know you did say that. But let's look at it from the cultural angle. Does our culture have anything to affect the way our parents treat us? Because I see that thing a lot to be just cultural. It is very uncultured, especially in Nigeria, that a girl child, a female person, majorly a female child, right, is out that late in the night.
Yeah.
Work or anything, name it what you can. So do you see culture really telling on strict parenting? That's my question to you.
That's it.
That's a question I was going to also ask
It's
you
a
to and
tough
expand
question.
on. So
Is it tough?
I want to hear the answer.
Not really. I feel, yeah, culture. Because, like I said, you have to think about where they grow up, how they grow up, their own rules back then. And then, I mean, I'm sure most of our parents that are living in Lagos now brought us, they grew up in their village and came here. You feel me? So things were different, coming into a new life now.
New life.
Yeah, they still have those rules from their own parents, because I know my mother always mentions me. My own mother did not kill me. So...
You
will
cannot
not
kill
kill
me.
me.
That's always been the phrase.
You will not
But
kill
guy,
me.
I don't want to kill you, man. I live your life.
I want you to understand me the
Until
way
you
I
see payouts
actually
now, you-
understand you.
Right.
And I like
But
what
just
she said.
expanding, expanding on the whole cultural thing. Yeah, I feel like the strict parenting, especially in this country, comes from like cultural beliefs. And obviously, you know how parents, more so, I'm going to say most parents, but majority of parents literally are focused on what other people have to say about their child or what other people think about their parenting skills. So I feel like most parents are living up to the expectations of other people, but not to the expectations of their own child, or to trying to understand and nurture and learn from your child, because you could actually learn from your child as a parent. Like, you need to honestly like sit down and understand and just like try and communicate with your kids, because when you have that relationship, I promise you, there's nothing in this world that, you know, you can't go to your parents to for help and like they won't be there for you. It is very key to honestly have that very understanding relationship with your parents, and to just, you know, obviously like have discipline involved, but at the same time you have like your own sense of freedom, your own sense of space, your own sense of just everything. And also, lastly, just to say, so throughout the world, more than 80% of parents report using physical punishment like spanking to discipline their children, which is really scary, especially when you think about the effects that spanking have on kids. So a 2016 meta-analysis combining the results of 75 previous studies found that spanking result in more aggression, more antisocial behavior, more mental health problems, lower cognitive abilities, lower self-esteem, and more negative relationships with parents. So obviously it's like, you just have to be that nurturing parent. I mean, yes, discipline your child, yes, set rules, but at the same time, understand your child, listen to your child, learn from your child, and have that beautiful relationship with your child. And that's just my whole stance on the whole strict parenting. I mean, like I said, the tighter you squeeze a bar soap, the farther it will project. So you can't put your child on the tight leash and not expect them to rebel.
So, Joy, what's your final?
So my final thoughts on my final say on this is we need to understand the time. The Bible says that the children of Issachar were blessed because they understood the time. Our parents need to know that times are different and times have changed. A lot of things are changing. You don't expect what happens, what applies to you to literally apply to me. I'll always tell my parents and my family members that it is their mandates that, I must be a good product. Thank you so much. I really appreciate. I don't take it for granted. But you need to know that if you're telling me not to do something, give me a reason. Be able to convince me, because I'm a human being and I deserve to know why I shouldn't do a thing. So it is my choice to now say, okay, you've told me what you want to say, then give me to my choice to live up to the expectation. You've told me not to do something. Give me a concrete reason why this should not be done. If I do this, what do I stand to gain? What do I stand not to gain? And that's where communication comes in. Proper, not just communication. You think you just want to talk and all you want to do is shout. Proper communication. You could have a dialogue with your children. You could have that. I remember when last year, December, my uncle said I stopped talking to him because he called me and told me not to wear bracelets. And I asked him a simple question. Why should I not wear it? I know what he told me. He said, no, calm down. Let me break it down. I told you I'm the perfect good example of this. My uncle literally told me that because it is not allowed in the church. And I'm like, okay.
Wow.
Sorry, hold on. And I said, okay, no problem, but do you wear chain wristwatch? He said, yes. I said, okay, so is that not chain? He said, because that tells the time. I said, unfortunately, if that battery stop, will you see where it? He said, I said, then it's not any time. Then we are on the same page. So your reason is still not concrete. You're using an old, it was a reason then, whatever is the point why it was created, that's a business, but it's not my business. Because I don't live in that space. I had to tell him, well, I'm not a member of the church, so I might as well wear it because I'm not your member. So if you must say you want us to do something, tell us why. And your why should not be because I want you to do so. No, not because you want us to do so, but because you know that when we do it, this is what's going to happen. So tell us the repercussion. Have a proper communication system. And I promise you, we'll be very disciplined as you want us to be and not by strict parenting. And also communicate with love. That is very important. Communicate with love. Thank you.
So yes, wrapping this up, you've actually heard from everybody on this day, including my gentleman there.
Our artist.
My co-brother. This nigga is funny.
Our artist.
Oh my God. So yes, I actually feel like strict parenting, just like you said earlier, it's actually something that would make the child rebellious, and he has just, he's actually a very good example. You're a good example of that.
You guys have not even gotten
you're no
to the
longer
real...
one. You're reduced, right?
No, you've not even gotten to the real bottom of his tea, but
hey.
save that for another day.
I think we need to have a part 2 of this conversation, because we need so many
We need the depths of what actually occurs
because
when you have
this is really a problem.
parents.
It's really a problem. It's really demoralizing a lot. I know how I had so many emotional problems that even as bad as making decisions, it was a problem, but you need to come back next time.
I'm honestly just grateful to say that, thank God, my parents were actually very loving and caring and understanding.
Same as me. So we're going on the break, babies. And coming back, we literally will be diving straight to the book review. Please stay with us.
multiple benefits to social media, such as communication, connectivity, building a community, education, and much more. We also can't shy away from the fact that social media actually has unintended consequences on our mental health, such as low self-esteem, anxiety, depression, fear of missing out, body image issues, and much more. You can't really come on social media and then use another person's ruler to measure your success. I mean, then you're bound to feel like you're not even doing anything, or you're not making any progress. But like, if you really just look at social media for what it is and just know that, okay, like, yeah, social media has like a certain side effects or certain effects, but you have to be much more aware than that. And you have to know that there's certain things that you can believe and you can't believe on social media. And you just have to use it to honestly build yourself and build your future.
Welcome back, guys. Yes. Thanks for staying with us.
Did you miss me?
What's in that one?
I know they miss me.
Okay.
They have to have missed me.
Okay, so yes, in the book review segment, the book to be reviewed today is The 48 Laws of Power. You all know already if you've been following. And it's authored by Rupert Green, right? The book is a New York Times bestseller, selling over 1.2 million copies in the United States. So yes, I'll be taking the 7th law. I mean, we've been doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'll be taking the 7th, which says, get the others to do the work for you, but take the credit. So this is not coming from the angle of, belittling other people or collecting other people's job. What it's simply saying is use the knowledge and hard work of others to make yourself appear efficient. Now I'll explain that. Now you see somebody, sometimes people want to, there's this thing called busybody, or you know when you want to overdo. No, when this book is, Robert Greene is telling you now that don't overdo. Don't stress it. Do you understand? Just go and stay where you are and allow people that are actually working on their thing work on it. Then when they are done, you cannot come and give your own 1 or 2 insights.
3 or 4.
Do you get? See, I think I'm one of these persons that I don't like showing myself. You would hardly even see me do anything. But
Mysterious.
Do you get?
Very
I'm serious. I'm not a person to come and start showing that, oh, I can do this thing. I'll just stay on my lane. If you want me to do it, tell me. If you don't want me to do it, stay on your lane too. So literally, that's what the book is about, right? Borrow plots, ideas, formulas, and other tools to develop yourself. That's what it is. If you also know that, okay, I don't have these things to actually make up what I want to do, borrow them, do your thing, and, start flying in flying colors.
Like she said.
Start flying in flying colors. So yes, Oni, let's hear your laws.
Okay, guys, so I'll be taking Law 8, and Law 8 pretty much states, make other people come to you. Use bait if necessary. And what this pretty much is saying is that use bait to get other people to come to you, because when you make them act, you are in control. And you know what? I love this law a lot, because this is actually a tactic that I like to use. I mean, like, if I know I want something, I'm not just gonna I'm gonna use bait to make the person or what I want or whatever my goal is come to me, reach out to me first. And it always works better that way, because like you end up being in control. You end up being what they're looking for or what they want to like follow and respect. So you know what, just always use bait if necessary. and make other people come to you, because it's just way better that way.
So, Joy, let's hear your law, please.
And finally, law 9 for today says that win through your actions, never through argument. And this particular law is very interesting because it connects with our topic for today. So we are talking about strict parenting, and our parents, I know that you're being strict because you want to be in that space of power. So if you want to still stay in the space of power, win through actions and not really argument. You don't have to argue a lot with us. Let's see through your actions and your actions through love, and that's how you always stay in the place of power. Thank you.
So yes, that's actually been an interesting ride. I'm very sure you've actually stayed tuned. You know you've enjoyed yourself. Starting from the news down to the topic. I mean, our honorable, handsome guest, and for sure the book review. So yes, we'll be seeing you tomorrow, same place, same time.
Go
same
stream his
person,
music.
Same station. See you tomorrow. Stay blessed.
Adios.
Thank you very much.